Hey guys, this is exciting. We are the UA stand, and we're collabing on this one.
Yeah, from the Dorky Synths channel, I'm here because I'm interested. The hype is real.
The hype is real.
The hype is real.
Hey Tom,
hello,
how's it going? How's your NAMM?
It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. I think me and Jack are both ill, but we're all right, aren't we?
Both ill, soldiering on. But on the plane, everyone was talking about what's Luna.
Yeah. Okay.
What is Luna?
What is it? Okay. What is it? The way we're describing it, right, is. You're familiar, hopefully people are familiar with the Apollo interfaces.
Yeah, we are.
We have our Thunderbolt interfaces with the DSP on board, so you can record through all of our processing and stuff. What Luna does is it transforms the Apollo Thunderbolt into a complete recording system. For us, it's the most analog sounding, it's the most inspirational, the quickest way to record, and it's the deepest integration of Apollo into a workstation environment. So you have effectively the Luna application and the Apollo working together.
Yeah.
So that's the way to look at it. You can, if we have a look at the app behind us, Luna
Can you see that come over here?
Yeah. So Luna itself is a multi-track recorder. You can do Midi in here, so you can record unlimited tracks of audio. You've got buses, you've got mixing capability. It's a single window workflow, like you'd expect, to be really quick and easy to use. And it works with really deep integration into the Apollo. So you no longer need to run the Apollo console.
Oh, that's so good.
You just have everything here.
Because that's what we do. We're using Logic at the moment in the studio, and we will run Logic, and then we have to go back and forth to the console all the time. So we won't have to do that if we, when we
get
swap over to this, because I can feel that's going to happen.
Yeah, so it's not available yet, but we'll hopefully get this out for people to use in spring. So in a few months' time, 2020. And the big kicker, and this is why the hype's been really useful, is this thing's going to be free to Apollo users. Yeah. If you own an Apollo, you get Luna. If you're going to buy an Apollo or you're looking at an Apollo, you've just got a really big reason to go there, because you now have an entire analog sounding workstation, or recording system, we're calling it, Luna recording system. So get in there and...
A few dorky questions from the geek side of things. How channel count, things like that. What can we run in there? Okay,
so unlimited audio channels, unlimited buses, unlimited MIDI. You're only at the mercy of your host CPU. So here's the thing: the Apollos have DSP in them, and they let you run your preamps and all of your record effects, so you can track through. I know we talked about this a lot. We both do it. Yeah. Tracking through plugins to process a vocal. That's still going to run on the DSP of your Apollo. But the tracks that you're recording and the things that are processing inside Luna, that's running on the host CPU. So we're now leveraging the best of the power of your Mac and then the Apollo. Yeah. So
what is it, only available for Mac or also for PCs at some point?
Only available for Mac.
Good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Here's another big thing. So we've done loads of sessions together. I'm sure everyone's watched them. Thanks for watching. Andertons.
Andertons represent.
But ultimately, we're trying to fit that into 32 inputs, because I was recording into another platform at that point. With Luna, we could have 4 Apollos connected on Thunderbolt and effectively have 64 in and out. So I could be recording off a large format console into the Luna recording system. So the I/O count is now kind of at our mercy, if you know what I mean. So that's a really big deal. So here's what's going to work. In the input side of the mixer, you can see here on screen, Taylor, we've got the input stage. So this is where you would select your physical input from your Apollo rig, and they all show up.
All right.
You then have unison slots. So if we put a track into record enable, you'll then see that we have a unison Neve 1073 loaded for that input. If we have a bunch of vocal tracks ready to record, like I say, we could have 100 tracks in here, 200 tracks. If we were going to record vocals with lead vocal on one, then we're going to do some harmonies on the next few tracks, we could have a different preamp for the BVs. And as soon as we go to that and record our MIDI, it's going to load a different preamp into the Apollo. So
Come on.
Saving DSP, but it's just working quickly.
Okay.
Stuff we do all the time, right?
What's tape?
What's what? Tape. Oh, well, let's move down a little bit.
Okay.
Well, so anyone who's used to the Apollo, you'll see we have the unison stuff. All of your gains and everything are up front, saved in Luna. That's like the console. It's in Luna.
Yeah.
Then you have record effects underneath it. You have the ability to load 4 effects there, which is running in the U82 DSP. So you could track a vocal through compression. Once it's recorded to disk and it's on your hard drive in the Luna project, you then end up being able to play back into this mixer, And so the first thing we have, and the reason we're calling Luna the most analog, recording environment, is because you've got what we call Luna extensions built in. So a Luna extension, the first one it comes with is Oxide tape. So in this tape slot here, you can load Oxide here, this tape machine, and on every track you have the ability to turn on and off tape, and you've got individual saturation. You then have global controls. So for example, you could have 4 tape machines or 4 tape decks. So you could have a tape deck that's lined up for your drums, a tape deck for your music, one for your vocals, and you can adjust the settings globally for those. So Oxide will come with Luna for free. Go on, Pete.
I'm just getting moist over here.
And if you wanted to hear an audio example of that, do you, on the Andertons videos, I think do you run everything through Oxide?
I do. So everything we've shot, the two main sessions we've done, everything, your keys, your guitars, all Ash's drums, I'm always recording through Oxide as a record effect. But the cool thing with Luna is you can put Oxide on in your mix window across everything on playback. And because that's now running natively within the Luna environment as an extension, I'm going to save my DSP.
Go check out the snare sound that Tom cooked up on the latest
magical,
video.
Man. It's just
Come on, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Back,
I had a few buckets of chicken, that one. Yeah, for sure. So that's the tape that comes with it. Oxide is free and included. But we also have, because we have the ability to load 4 machines, you could load, for example, the Studer A800, which gives you a different set of controls.
Yeah.
So you can expand the tape controls here if you go down. And we have individual channel biases and HF trims, but you've got global controls over here. So we could change tape formulation and tape speed across all your drum tracks in one go, across all your BVs, whilst doing individual saturation, right?
And that's all the all of these power.
Sorry if you're not interested back home, but us dorks are just having an orgasm right now.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Pete just said, is that running on the DSP of the Apollo? But it's not, because that stuff is Luna extensions are running on the Mac. It's using the power of your like i7 whatever multi-core Mac.
My credit card is crying.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the beautiful thing is, it's free, bro.
That's what I meant, like, because I just want to buy a pimpin' Mac, because then I can harness like an i9 must be able to run bucket loads.
Absolutely.
And here's another quick question. I know but will I be able to? Let's say I'm having my laptop. I'm on a flight. I don't have this with me. Can I still kind of use it to mix or whatever, or don't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So the way you authorize Luna, you need an iLock cloud or an iLock physical, but the cloud means you don't need a USB dongle.
Yeah.
But it does need an interface connected on Thunderbolt to open. So Arrow
is the one.
Arrow works, and you can travel with it. I brought one in my backpack, and I can open Luna on the airplane on the way home, and I can do some stuff.
I need to get my hour.
Yeah. So like that's the tape stuff.
Yeah.
And, you have up to 4 tape decks that you can load. Here's the cool thing: if you own the Studer A800 plugin, you'll get the Studer extension for free as well. Obviously, if you don't, then you'll be able to buy that.
Yeah.
So that's the sound of tape. That's the first thing that makes this thing super analog. But then on any mix bus, you'll see if we go back to the input side of things, if I create a bus just quickly here, I'll make a stereo bus track, and that's now got a Neve console summing built in. So what we have is the sound of an 80 series Neve with 1272 gain amplifiers, a bit like a 1073 but on every mix bus. So you could have drum subgroups, vocal subgroups, mix buses. You've got different impedance settings for it and the ability to, as you'd expect, turn it on and off and all that sort of stuff.
Great choice of the controls that are up front as well. All the things that you go for, especially on those tape plugins.
Yeah, just
I don't want the crosstalk. I mean, I just want to get to the meat.
Yeah, just saturate and move on.
Yeah,
it's like we say, it's the quickest, most inspirational, recording system. And that's why really it is a system. It needs the hardware, it needs the software. You add the extensions, and then you're able to get this like sound quality that's been eluding in the box work, before really.
Yeah.
So that's that's another Luna extension, which is the Neve console, and that can work in conjunction with tape, for example. And then you move down and you've got inserts, so you could add UAD plugins there as you would in any other DAW.
Yeah.
But this is not a DAW; it's a fully fledged system.
Yeah.
That does let you run audio units there, so you can run your other third-party plugins that you like as an AU, as an insert here.
Smart.
Yeah.
Boss.
So then underneath there we have the sends, of which you can create an aux send, for example. Let me, in fact,
So we could send,
my bus
if we're recording, we could send stuff through like we are into the speakers we've got in the studio, for instance.
Yeah, you're right, but we have split sends and cues as 2 different things.
Okay.
So cues are the Apollo hardware mixes that go to the headphone outputs and back to your TV studio playback.
Yeah.
So you already have them built in here, and you could just send to your live room for the Andertons TV show right there.
Yeah.
But then in sends, you'll be able to actually create an unlimited number of buses based off your computer's power, and have reverbs and delays and all your stuff with Neve sound on those buses if you wish. All there. So like, I think, where's my bus? I made one here, didn't I? Where was it? Sorry, I'm trying to find what I made.
UA are just killing the game right now.
That bus there, okay.
Just killing it.
Call that verb for a minute. When I create a send, you'll see it pop up to say, hold on. I can't send off my own bus to myself. That's why I didn't see it. You see it says verb now. I'm able to send to that bus here.
So you can send that into that.
Yeah.
And you can pre-listen to that before you record as well.
Yeah, you can have that running as like an effect for monitoring.
Yeah.
And so this is now the ability to have faders for sends, you know, much bigger faders if you want to control your send mix.
Like a splits console.
Exactly, and you can scroll through, and the cool thing with this is you can fold each section up or down, where you have this range control if you just want to see like this section or that, or I want to see all of this bit, or I just want to see all
The question no one wants to have answered on the guitar channel is that I saw the chaps from Spitfire Audio doing a talk. How does that tie in?
Okay, so we've done Lunar.
Sorry.
No, this is
these guys are going to love it. They're going to love it. So you got Lunar extensions, we've got Lunar application. The third element of Lunar are Lunar instruments, which is why, you know, I said come over and check it out, Jack. When you go to an instrument track here, you'll see at the top you can load an instrument. And so we've made, for the launch of Lunar, dead nuts on mini Moog with Moog. We're all Brits, we'll say Moog, right? But
Moog.
I'm trying to learn while I'm here to say Moog. So we have the mini Moog. So let's load this. Bosh. That's now the most accurate model done by UA. Filters, oscillators, noise, everything that's in that Moog, we've nailed it. You can play that, and that's running on your host CPU, so our instruments are running natively inside the Lunar environment. You can't run them in another application, they're built for Lunar, right? So you use Lunar, you get access to the instruments.
Dig it.
Yeah, so there's the Moog for bass lines, fat, creamy bass lines and lead sounds. Moog. Or
can you run audio through it as well? And
you know what? For the filter input, I think you can actually.
They do in the UA universe. You have the Moog filters separate anyway, so don't worry about it.
Moog.
But you can hear input external. You can now use this as an external input source.
So guitar players, you want the ultimate envelope filter sound. This will be the poshest.
Yeah,
woo!
Yes.
Oh yeah. And then another one for Jack that would be really nice, because we've obviously recorded on our grand piano lately, is Ravel. So Ravel is UA's own Steinway Model B, in Ocean Way Studios, which we've sampled, and we're using something called ultra resonance technology, which is new for UA. We're modeling kind of like the body of the piano and all of its like all the stuff that happens in there when sympathetic resonances go with different strings. We're doing all of our modeling experience for the last 20 years to nail the sound of a grand piano, but we've also recorded that in the world's best studio. Right?
In Ocean Way. Yeah. Go listen to Blake Mills' records if you want to hear Ocean Way, like the sound of that room. Hey ho.
It's just,
the guitar players will dig that as well.
Yeah.
So when the application moves a window, for example, like we go to mics, you can blend between the close and far mics. So we've got.
This is what people want pictures, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, this is beautiful.
Yeah, so obviously the Moog and the Ravel you buy, but then we have the Shape instrument, which is developed by UA for anyone using Lunar. This is the way we're describing it, it's like the ultimate toolkit or arsenal to write music with quickly. We want it to be inspirational really quickly. So you'll notice when it loaded up that it comes with a Ravel light. So you have a version of that Steinway piano included in Lunar for free anyway.
Okay.
So you can just play straight away.
Yeah.
But what's cool about Shape is that you have content that's, you know, Spitfire, you do the orchestral samples, Spitfire have exclusive content within Shape.
Yeah, go check out Christian Henson's YouTube channel if you want to see a genius at work, basically, and the brains behind it, beautiful. And he explains it, really good tuition videos as well.
Nice tip. Yeah, Spitfire are awesome. So that's a UK link for us guys. They're a brilliant UK company. So we're working with them. We have some loop content from Loops de la Creme. We've got instruments from Orange Tree samples. So like some of the best content creators making content for Shape. But of course we've made our own. So the Ravel piano is developed by UA. We have some synthesis in here. We also have like the kind of sample playback stuff that's kind of working together. There are effects built in, so you have UA kind of style studio effects in your instrument, delays and things like that. So
mind blown.
Yeah, you can perform and write with Shape.
And you're getting that you're getting that free. You're getting Ravel
free.
Yeah,
Ravel
free.
light.
So you get
It's mad, right?
It's mad.
And then there'll be more content, you know, for Shape over time.
Yeah,
That's the plan.
And on another dorky level, all the colours and the aesthetic of it is brilliant. Have you got full choice over the colours? One of the things I hate about Logic is being tied into the colours.
Oh, you do? That's quite interesting. So let me show you. You have.
But these work together beautifully.
You have a fixed colour palette currently.
But they're better than Logic, don't we?
Yeah, we know it's a curated colour palette that looks
It's the
good.
rainbow palette, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, let's see. Let's we could talk about this all day
Yeah,
because
sorry.
people want to see these videos. They probably want to do it a bit short, but I know you love it, and you are so proud, and you should be proud. This is amazing.
Yeah.
But if I want to record, what does that look like?
So
you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. So let's say
Look at that.
well, let's just make a new audio track. So let's make one audio track.
Do you know what I mean about the colours? It looks
but it looks so familiar to me as well. All of this stuff here with the grid and the snaps and the tempo and the markers and all that stuff looks so familiar. And this is very much familiar from another program that is not Logic that might be called Pro Tools. But it's a mixture of these. Who's designed all of this?
Well, that's us. So we've kind of just taken all of what we do at UA, which is that nice kind of skeuomorphic look of things that you expect, like the old knees and everything, but then done it in a really modern, stylistic way with our art team. They've spent ages working on the look of this. Yeah, and what's funny is when you go back to sort of other environments, you're like, they look really old. This just looks so fresh.
Yeah.
You know, but it still has, you know, old like Studer style tape machine buttons to record and play. You know, it's just always going to be UA style.
It's so familiar, all of this. To me, I could easily get on with this. Just open it up and start fiddling around.
It helps that you're an Apollo user because you know stuff like this, which is the monitor section of the Apollo, that's now in Luna.
Perfect.
So what you'd have normally been looking at in the console, it's just built in here right away. So you're used to stuff like this where you can adjust the Q outputs and stuff. In the control room with TalkBack, that's all integrated into Luna here. You know.
That's so good, man.
But so to record for you, like this, we create a track, we call it, you know, Pete Guitar. We'll pick a colour for you, Pete.
Yeah.
There's only one choice, isn't there, my bro? Is it purple enough? And then you would just, you know, either in the mixer window, for example, on the Peach track, you pick your input.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go here and put it into Record Enable. We're going to load, for example, an Eve, or if you want to do guitar, what we'll do is go to Assign. And the cool thing is we have a search function, so we could just type in Fender, and then we'll bring up the Fender Tweed Deluxe, and hopefully I've got enough DSP, there you go. And now you're already plugging your guitar straight in and you're able to record straight away. It's that easy.
One little dog. What if I want to use, I'm adamant that I want to use whatever other DAW I've got. How would you see this interfacing with that?
Yeah. We're not expecting to replace all these other workstations because we know people use Logic for deep MIDI or Ableton and all these things, you know, it's kind of alongside that. So the beautiful thing is, if you're recording any type of tracking session, we'd really, you know, with an Apollo, you're going to want to try Luna.
Yeah.
But when you can stem out from this, so you could just go bounce, and then you can do, you can select your sources for bouncing. You could select all of your buses or your individual tracks like this, and do it with or without effects, and just take it to your new platform once you've done it. So you could get the sound of your Studer tape on it.
So you could be in a creative rut, you look at the same DAW every day. This is a good way to mix up. Like a lot of people are buying exterior tape machines and things that to get out of their head and simplify things. I love that.
Yeah, so it's the simplest way to do it. You know, it doesn't necessarily have all the really deep stuff you'd expect from the off, because this is version 1. You know, obviously it's now it's going to be years and years of development.
And once it's out, people like you do, you just update software for free, and I'm sure that's so great.
Yeah, but the multi-channel bus or multi-channel track export with or without effects is great, and it's offline as well. You know.
When can we get it?
Spring. So hopefully in the next couple of months, you just be able to download it because you all use Apollo.
Yeah. I got Apollo tattooed on my balls.
I don't want to see that, but I mean, I'm really pleased you have.
I like to see that.
I like to see that.
Yeah. Then finally, we should probably add as well that you can import from other workstations with a AAF type of file transfer. So there are ways.
You can drag and drop like files in if you've got some stuff lying around and.
Oh yeah. So I mean,
so if you do a track here, you just drag it in.
You just go to Finder and drag it straight on. Audio will just drop straight in.
Yeah. On the Keys channel, I'll do some demos of those synths. I'd love to.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely. We do that. We'll do something as well on the guitar channel. So that's why this is a crossover video, ladies and gentlemen, because it's just.
We were both here by chance just to come check it out.
Exactly.
It's been such a hubbub.
So it just had to happen.
Amazing time.
Yeah. So there we go. Anyway, thank you very much, man. I'm looking forward to getting this on our machine at Andertons and do some stuff, and in our new room, because in the future we've got a. Downstairs, you know, downstairs, you've been downstairs, keyboard rooms downstairs, tech room. We're taking the wall out downstairs, so we're going to have one big, massive room down there.
I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly.
Exactly. Yeah. So exactly.
Amazing, man.
So look forward to that, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Luna 2020.
Luna!
Exciting!
A Luna Matata. Nice one.